Okay, so your determiners exam is just around the corner, and we're going to make sure you absolutely ace it. Forget about long, boring lectures. We're doing a high-speed, rapid-fire review to nail the most common mistakes people make. Let's jump right in.
Ever find yourself staring at a sentence, wondering if it should be a few or just few? Or when on earth to use the? Hey, you are not alone. These tiny little words can cause the biggest headaches and lose you the most points on an exam.
Well, not anymore. Today, we're going to tackle those common errors one by one, and we're going to do it fast so you can walk into that exam feeling totally confident. First up, we're diving straight into the biggest, most stubborn errors we see on worksheets and tests all the time. It's time to bust some of these common grammar myths. So you see a sentence like this, and something just feels a little bit off, right? You've got visitors, that's plural, vehicles, that's plural too, but then you hit his, and that's singular. That disagreement is a classic trap. So here's the myth a lot of people fall for, that any old possessive word will work. But the fact is, the possessive determiner it must, agree with the noun it's connected to. Since we have multiple visitors with multiple vehicles, the determiner has to be plural too. And that brings us to our very first keyword, and it's a big one, agreement. That's it. A plural subject needs a plural possessive. If you can just remember that one word, agreement, you've got this rule down cold. And there's the fix. Visitors is plural, so we use the plural possessive. Their vehicles. See how it all clicks into place? Perfect agreement. All right, let's keep this pace up and hit the next one. Here's another one that trips so many people up. He is kindest man. It sounds almost right, but it's missing one tiny, super important word that makes all the difference. The myth here is that these words that end in est, we call them superlatives, can just stand on their own. But the fact is, when you're saying something is the absolute most of anything, the kindest, the tallest, the smartest, it almost always needs that definite article, the. And that gives us our next keyword for your exam prep, superlative. From now on, when you see a superlative adjective, an alarm bell should go off in your head that says, wait, I probably need the here. It points to that one single ultimate example. And there you have it. He is the kindest man. That one little word, the, makes the whole sentence grammatically perfect. All right, 2 myths busted. Let's keep this momentum going. Okay, let's zoom out a little now and demystify 2 major categories that can cause a lot of confusion. Articles, a and an, and demonstratives, like this and that. This one is probably the first grammar rule any of us ever learned, right? And the thing is, it's often taught just a little bit wrong. The myth is that you use an before a vowel letter. But the real fact is, it has nothing to do with the letter. It's all about the sound. And these examples right here prove it perfectly. Just listen. The word hour starts with an ow sound, a vowel sound, so it's an hour. Now listen to European. It starts with a y sound, which is a consonant, so a European. Same thing for one-eyed man. It starts with a w sound. It's all about what you hear, not what you see. So the key word to lock into your brain is sound. Seriously, forget about the spelling for a second. Close your eyes, say the word out loud. Does it start with a vowel sound? Use an. A consonant sound? Use a. Let your ear be the judge. Next up, demonstratives. The myth is that you can just sort of throw this or that into a sentence and hope for the best. But the fact is, there's a really clear, logical system behind it, and it's all based on 2 simple things: distance from you and how many there are. And the logic is actually pretty simple. For one thing that's close by, you use this. If that one thing is far away, you use that. Now, if you have multiple things that are close by, it's these. And for multiple things far away, it's those. Just think here or there, one or many. That's it. All right, deep breaths, time to level up. We are now entering what a lot of students think of as the final boss of determiners, quantifiers. These are the words that tell us how much or how many. First, let's settle that classic duel, few versus a few. The real difference here isn't the number of apples, it's your feeling about them. It's all about your attitude. If you say you have few apples, it's negative. It implies you're sad because you have almost none. But if you have a few apples, it's positive. You're happy you still have some left. And the other big pair, many versus much, this one's way more straightforward. The only key word you need to remember is count. Can you actually put a number on it? 1 discussion, 2 discussions, 3 discussions? Then you use many. But you can't count things like advice or water. It's uncountable. So for those, you use much.
Okay, we have reviewed the rules, we've busted the myths. Now it's time for the final phase, putting all this knowledge into action to solve those really tricky sentence scramble questions.
I know these sentence puzzles from the worksheets can look super intimidating, just a jumble of words. But what if I told you that the determiners are actually the key that unlocks the entire thing?
Okay, let's look at this one together. When you see a scramble like this, your first step should always be to hunt for the determiners. Here, we've got all and the. Now, we know determiners almost always come right before a noun. So the police has to be one chunk, and all the thieves has to be another chunk. Suddenly, the puzzle solves itself. The police have caught all the thieves. See, the determiners build the structure for you.
So just remember, determiners aren't just these tiny, annoying grammar words. They're actually the architectural blueprint of a sentence. If you can find them first, the rest of the puzzle will just fall right into place. You have the rules, you have the keywords, now it's time to put them to the test. Go ace that exam.